Ah, welcome, guys. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everybody. We are live. All right. If you're just joining, now is a good time to go invite as many people as possible. Tell them additional intelligence is live. Today is about to be another. Don't worry. I'm not going to break any table today. We're just going to have a decent conversation. Right. So, welcome, welcome. If you are just joining, you can type your name and where you're joining us, where you're joining from. I can see one person just joined, and that one person that joined, I believe you should go share with another person. This is not a session you join and you don't invite others. So go invite someone right away, right now, immediately. Go and invite someone. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome to Additional Intelligence. I'm so happy to be doing this. I'm so happy to have you guys join me. And we're about to have an amazing time together. Yeah, you know how we do it. So, all right. I think we are live now. We're good. We're good. We're good now. All right. I think we're good now. Okay, so we've started a series from today's day 4, so today is part 4 of investment lies, right? We started a series on investment lies. We've done on quite a number of things. We've done on um, real estate, we've done on diversification, we've done on big strategy, and today we are doing again on return on investment. This is a session you really, really want to join. And you really want to invite other people to join because this is something that is really, really common, especially in the real estate market, right? Especially in the real estate market. This is a very, very common topic, especially in the real estate market. So, if you're just joining for the first time, if today is your first time joining us, my name is Adesina Okoyemi. I'm the founder of Adesina Assets. And like we say, we're here to help you retire early with Adesina. So, part of what we do to really achieve this is through our daily sessions and weekly sessions and monthly sessions. And by the way, we'll be having additional intelligence live in Abuja this month. The last Saturday of this month, we're going to be having additional intelligence live in Abuja. So if you're in Abuja, you want to join the session. So watch out for the advert. Watch out for the marketing materials that will be coming up for that. Let's dive right into today's session. Right. So today we're talking about investment lies you might have believed about return on investment. Investment lies you are likely to have believed about return on investment. Oh my God. Where should we start from? Where should we start from? Where should we start from? Today might be a short session, basically. So basically, let's start from what return on investment basically is. Right. It's the profit you make in your investment. Basically, investment means I'm putting money into something to make more money than what I'm putting inside it. That's investing. So return on investment means that okay, on this money I'm putting into this thing, how much am I making an interest, right? Additional plus what I put into it. Basically, that's return on investment. That's your return. That's your profit. That's your interest. That's your reward on what you put into that investment vehicle. Right. And don't forget, this particular session is going to be streamlined to real estate investment. Basically, that's what we do. Right. And currently, we have over 100 million naira in assets. And, so basically, I know what I'm saying. And, I had a meeting with a couple of investors yesterday, and I was trying to tell them certain things. And one of them asked me, why are you telling us this? It sounds like industry secret. I was like, why are you telling us this? And I've actually had someone tell me before that I do business like I don't want to make money. I do business like I'm running charity. That's because people are really not used to the truth, basically. It's a different ballgame when you're doing these things in advanced countries, right? Where everything you do, especially when it comes to investing, is strictly monitored and strictly regularized. In this part of the world, anybody can launch any investment scheme tomorrow and anybody can call himself an investor. So it looks as if a lot of people have done it in a compromising way, such that when you come clean, it looks as if you are too honest, or you don't want to make money, or you don't want to make profit. For example, when I see people just put certain return, for example, buy a plot and get 250% return on investment in 24 months or this, you just keep wondering, what's the what's the basis for this figure? Or is it just to attract people? Like I said, in this part of the world, anybody can just put any figure on a marketing materials and nobody's going to check it out. If you try it in a country like US, you can go to jail for it, right? You put in something like that and you don't even put certain clauses, right? Some people will put guaranteed on that particular figure. So things like that can really make you think, is this how it's meant to be? Is this thing real? And I was having a conversation with someone and I said some people right now are actually waiting for the next Ponzi schemes, right? Not intentionally because they want to get defrauded, because they would not even see the Ponzi as a fraudulent scheme. To them, it's reasonable, it's profitable. Let me use that word, not reasonable. It's profitable. It's more like, oh, I'm smart. Yeah. If I'm smart enough, I'll grab this opportunity, right? But if you are truly wealth intelligent, you are truly financially intelligent, you would know that this thing does not look legit. This thing does not make any financial sense, right? And even if I shared a particular document to someone and I showed the person a particular clause that says, even our past, even if, for example, I've run certain deals together, and I introduce another one, this current one, I can't justify what I'm promising you based on past performances, because economic factors are not would not say, okay, because I've been working for you, I will always work for you, right? So a lot of things are involved, especially when it comes to promising investors return on investment, promising investors what they would get, and the likes. Um, so today we're going to be talking about some lies you might have heard about return on investment. And number one to start with, right, is when you have, like I said, I'll be tailoring this down to real estate investment, because of course there are certain fixed income, what's it called, investment, that is, even before you start, for example, bonds. Before you even go into bonds, you know exactly what you're getting out of it, and that one is basically fixed, right? And if you check it, it's not flexible, it's fixed, right? But when it comes to things like, and it's not in your control. I hope you get that. For example, if I buy a land and I'm to resell it, reselling the land is in my control. It's my land. When you are putting money into bonds, it is not, I'm not to control what I do with it. I'm not to control how I get the how it makes profit, right? But when it comes to you owning a property or investing in a property, as it's popularly called, especially in Nigeria, most of it is actually back in your control. So how can someone else tell me the return on investment I'm going to be getting from something that is in my control? If I buy a land now, it's in my name, right? If tomorrow I want to sell it, and probably I'm in a distressed need of a certain amount of money, and someone is not willing to, I can decide to sell it for any amount of money. So promising a return on investment might be accurate to say, okay, I believe it will be worth this kind of thing. But really, what we are really going to talking about today is, what is the basis, right? What is the basis for what I am promising you? What is the basis for these returns I'm assuring you of? Or is it just, it sounds good, it sounds compelling, right? We have a lot of sales coaches now, and there's something I've always said, that most offers right now in the Nigerian market is designed by salespeople for salespeople. It is not designed for investors. It's actually designed by. That is why you see that most guys now are focused on raising affiliates, focused on raise because, and by the time they're focused on raising affiliates, means that they want to cook up some offers. Oh, sell 6 plot and win all expense paid trip. Sell this and get this particular commission. While that is not in itself a bad thing, right? In itself, not bad. But when it is, the way it is being tailored to certain properties, makes it unfair to the investors, right? If I want to buy a house now, that it is not an investment. I want to buy a house because I love the design, I love the fittings, I love the lighting, I love the location, I just want to buy a house. If you tell me, okay, my commission is whatever commission I'm paying you because oh you helped me find the house. But when they're telling me to come and invest in land banking, right? And you're already adding commission for affiliate, you're already adding all expense pay trip fee to affiliate, your own profit margin as a company is already there. Yeah, I'm already buying an overpriced property that you called land banking. So you can see these all inconsistencies, right, when it comes to return on investment, especially in the Nigerian market. Please always note that one mistake or one error, right, of all this return on investment thing is actually because they have limited scope. Limited scope. They oftentimes only take in is it what's that word again? They only take in consideration the resale value. For example, oh, you can buy this land today, and next 5 years, you should be able to sell it for, let's say, three times what you bought it for. So if I bought the land for 1 million naira today, you're telling me I can sell it for 3 million naira in the next 5 years. That figure, 3 million naira, is it the only consideration in this economic activity? Is that the only factor or the only criteria that matter? Firstly, even the 1 million I'm buying as the actual price of the land might not be the total cost of the land, right? There might still be something like documentation fee. There might still be something like developmental fee, depending on which what's it called, company you are buying from, right? There might still be something like that. Probably the cost of me going to visit the land several times, it's also there, right? The cost of probably I even want to still probably fence my land around, it's also there. Now within the next 5 years, what's it called? 1 million naira today is not the same thing as 1 million naira in the next 5 years, right? Because 1 million naira today I can do a lot of things with it, but that time 1 million naira in 5 years I don't have it. It's not mine, so the value is different. Also, there's something called inflation, right? That would have occurred over a period of time, which means that even if the 3 million naira is there, what 3 million naira would buy in 2023 would not be the same thing the 3 million naira would buy in 2028. So when you remove all these things, right, you would see that even though it sounds like book value, facial value, 300%, when you really check the actual value, or let me say the net value of what you're really selling for, it could actually be 1.5 million naira. So in real sense, you really, in reality, you made probably like 50% return on investment. Meanwhile, the headline or whatever it is, the person told you says you can sell it for 300%, right? There's something it's often used in what's it called? I think stocks investing. It's called discounted cash flow. It is used when you're trying to measure the intrinsic value of a stock, right? And basically, what it means is that when I check the yield of this property, you can apply this to rental property, right? That is, okay, if I check the net income on this property for the next 5 years, right? How can I discount that, what's it called? That net income to be able to buy it at a net value. For example, let me make it simple. If I'm buying a property now, if a property now they say selling for, what's it called, 50 million naira, another party is going to be generating, let's say, 5 million naira for me annually. That means the cap rate is 10%. That's the cap rate of annual yield is 10%, right? Which is very, very rare, right? Most of the ones you get to be around probably 4% to probably 7%. So, but let's just use 10% to make it easier to calculate, right? 10% cap rate. That's more like 500,000 naira, right, annually, that you're getting every year for the next 10 years. Remember, when you're calculating the intrinsic value of a property, that is how much are you willing to pay? Yeah, what you're taking into consideration is how much is this thing going to make? How much money am I going to make from this? When am I going to make this amount of money? How sure am I that I'm going to make this amount of money? Right. So these are certain things you need to take into consideration. So you say you're going to make 5%, 10% over in cap rate over the period of 10 years. Right. Now, is it likely to grow? Right, let's say that money is likely to grow by 5% over the next 5 years. So you have to take that one also into consideration. Now, when you now calculate all these growth rates, you calculate it for the next 5 years. Now you know how much this thing is likely to make in net income, right? Now, in that 10th year, within that 10th year also, you now do what I refer to as discounted cash flow. That is, now pay attention. I'm only applying this to real estate, right? Because there's something I used to say a lot of times, that investment strategy or investment principle, I don't believe they are mutually exclusive. That is, it's stocks investing as this principle, real estate investing as this principle. If it's truly investment principle, it should work across all classes. If it's truly a working investment principle, it should work across. That is, I can apply to this and it works for me. I can apply value investing to real estate, it works. Value investing to stocks, it works. Value investing to anything, it works. So even investing in businesses, it should work, right? So that means there's a way I should be able to discount, those um net income I'm hoping to get. I should be able to discount it, right? Maybe I'm saying, I want to get 5% returns. So I should discount everything annually by 5%. So that means instead of the 10% I'm I'm hoping to make, I'm now discounting it by 5%. So that means if whatever I'm going to pay now, I'm going to look at it from the value of this thing is only going to be giving me 5% returns annually for the next 10 years. Right? Now, if I've not lost you there, this simply means that the book value, that facial value of, oh, this is how much you are going to be making, that is not the entire figure involved in that real estate deal. There are other factors. There's the operational cost, there's inflation. If you are borrowing money to even finance the deal, there's interest rate you are paying, right? So don't just take, do you know you can buy this property now and make this particular amount of return on investment within the net? Don't just take that, right? Take that figure and now take into consideration other economic factors, other economic figures that are involved, and then you now have to now discount it, because you cannot control the entire market. In fact, Benjamin Graham used to say that you are in control to the extent at which you know you are not in control. So it is now when you take all these um underlining figures, all these underlining factors into consideration, that you now know that, because the fact is, as much as you're optimistic, you still have to be pessimistic also. You cannot be overly excited, right? That is real estate. It will always do this. Even for you to increase the value of the property, that means it's taking some investment. For example, this property currently does 2 million naira rent, right, annually. If I want to increase the rent to 3 million naira, that means I have to add something. That's cost. So even though I'm saying the value is going to grow at 5% every year, that means it's also going to have implication on the operational cost every year, the growth on the operational cost every year. That means I have to discount that cost. Remember, I mentioned discounted cash flow. I have to discount that cost that will force the value to increase also from that value. So even though I said the value is going to increase at 5%, by the time I discount the cost that would make the value increase, it might actually be a 2% increase in value on the long run, like in the actual value. In the actual value. So many times when you hear figures like buy this land and get 200% return on investment, what you are really getting is not up to that. It cannot be up to that, because that is just the resale value. There are other figures involved in that economic activity beyond just what you resell it for. So don't just buy the flyer. Make sure you do the math. Make sure you do the math. I made a video some time ago and I said, don't just buy quotes, buy the math, buy the figures. Don't just buy quotes when you're buying real estate, right? Today now, I have a couple of properties to go inspect, right? You're going to see that on our social media pages. I'm inspecting a 12 unit of 2-bedroom apartment, right? I'm also inspecting another, I think, 6 unit of 3-bedroom apartment. I also have about 35 units of 4-bedroom and 2-bedroom, 35 units also that I'm inspecting. 35 units. I don't think I don't think I'll be able to do that today, basically. And then I have another 10 units, 7 unit of 3-bedroom, and I think 3 unit of stuff like that, because we're trying to take on, we are checking a lot of deals right now to put money into, right, to invest in. And this is why we look at a lot of deals, right? Why do you think we don't look at deals and we just buy? We don't look at deals properties and we just buy. No, some properties are overpriced. Some properties, when you finally check the price, check the rent, check the growth potential, check what it will cost you to actually bring the growth you are envisaging, you discover that the return on investment is not worth it. It's not worth it. The fact that you actually resell a particular property and you make an increase You bought something for two. This is why you see that a lot of people who are in business never grow, because the truth is they are actually making what you call profits. But when you check what they put in, the cost of that profit is not worth it. It's not. Many young people now are still in business. They think they are making profit because most of the factors of creation of that business, they are really not paying for it. For example, many of them are using what's it called? They are using their house for business. That is one. Many of them are using probably their parents' kitchen. That is to make the food or whatever. That is to, you know, a lot of things that are not being factored into it. So when you look at, oh, you want to get into this deal, you want to get into this property, you want to, beyond the, you can resell for this, beyond this is the, when I speak to all these local agents and I tell them, oh, I want to buy this property, I'm interested in this property, I want to go and take a look at it. What they keep telling me is, oh, this property will give you, this is the current rent, this is the current rent. So they're trying to tell me that this is how much I would make in a year. But what they are not putting in factor is that value that you are pushing to me, it has a cost attached. If I want to increase that value also, it has a cost attached. So even if I end up increasing the value from 2 million to 2.5 million, the profit is not 500,000 naira, because it might have taken me 300,000 naira to actually push that value to do. So what's actually the real profit now? 200,000 naira. So when you understand this, that return on investment um is not just, does not just come. It has a cost attached. It has a cost attached. And as I said, investment is the principle of investment is general. It's general. It's general. Right? If I put 100 million naira into a property, I must not, it's not just with the hopes that, oh, I can resell it for 150 million naira. I saw a video some time ago. I think this will be a very practical example to wrap up today's session. And this is where it gets dicey. And she said she bought a house for 45 million naira. And the house is currently, emphasize on that word, currently, pay attention to that word, currently, selling for, I think, 70 million naira. And to the person, is it even 70 or 90 million naira? To the viewer, it might look like, wow, within just, I think it's just 3 years. I can't remember. I think it's just 3 years. It's just selling for 90 million naira within 3 years. You might look at, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of profit. That's profit, right? Number one, the house that is currently selling for 90 million naira are the new houses that are just building in that same estate, the new ones. That means you cannot buy the old one that someone have lived there for 3 years for 90 million naira, unless the person is going to spend some extra amount of money to actually renovate that house to be in the same shape with the new ones. That is one. Right. Number two, in 3 years period, the value of 45 million naira is not the same value of 45 million. There's What's inflation rate in 2020? What's inflation rate in 2023? That means 90 million naira today can actually be, or let me say, 45 million naira. What do I put it? 90 million naira in cash, in facial value today, in 2020 might actually be the real value of, let's say, probably 70 million naira. So that means even though it's 90 million naira in book value today, the real value is actually 70 million naira today. And probably I will still need extra 5 million naira to bring the house up to par to the new one. That means 65 million naira. Right? 65 million naira. Now, for me to now sell easily, competitive advantage, I might need to reduce the price for maybe another 5 million naira to make people to buy that 60 million naira. You see that from 90 million naira, we've seen that 30 million naira is actually an associate cost that is not included. So while real estate is truly profitable, right, for someone who actually does the math well, it is not all real estate that is profitable. Which is why you need to really pay attention to your fingers. Don't just buy the quotes, don't just buy the oratory skills, don't just buy the finesse, especially when you are investing. If you are buying to live, you are buying for your madam, you are buying for the glamour, fine. Go ahead, buy anything you want to buy. That's none of my business. But you are buying to invest. And as I say, take cues from the person that is really investing. Permit me to say, the real investors, especially in the Nigerian market, are the owners of the estate. Every other person are customers of the investors. Take it or leave it. Because you that you're saying you are investing in the same estate, it will take you 10 years to even hope, or 5 years to even hope that you sell this thing for higher amount of money, which if you look at the real sense, you don't even know the real cost that you take it to actually sell. For example, if you buy land 5 million naira now, you sell it for 10 million naira in the next 5 years. That's times two, 200% profit, right? But what's the value of 5 million naira, 10 million naira in that 10 years time? What's the value? Right? What is the value? But don't forget that the person who really invested, who is the owner of the estate, has made his profit in that same year that he bought the land for. So who is the real investor? So, like I said, many times when you see all this, buy this property or invest in property and they get this return on investment, they don't tell you the associate cost for that return on investment. And most time, they also it has limited scope. They don't take in consideration the inflation rate, whatever other economic cost attached to that economic activity. So don't just buy the big return on investment, the big percentage itself. No. Take time. Take time to really understand the mathematics, the economics around that return on investment, because then is actually when you're investing, right? When you really know the math, when you're not buying the quote. I hope you understand that. So I hope you've learned something today on today's session of additional intelligence. I'll see you again tomorrow, where we'll continue on this series of common investment lies you have believed. And I hope you've been learning. If you need to come back to this video, don't hesitate. And don't hesitate to also share this link of this video to as many people as possible that you know that they are on the verge of investing in properties, right? And by the way, if you're interested in investing with us, we have a deal currently. We have a fund currently open. Minimum investment is 1 million naira. Minimum investment is 1 million naira. If you're interested, just contact the number attached to this video, 07055554807, right? Call that number and we'll give you a lot of information for you to make your decision. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Once again, my name is Adesina. Join me tomorrow on Additional Intelligence. Bye.